Yeah, I know everybody loves when I talk about Shoestring, but this is one of my favorite memories of him when he was here and he signed my Yeti bucket. My there's the Stobe the Hobo sticker on it, but I got my Cleveland stuff. It's a shoestring inspired bucket. I think I think it's out in the garage right now. I brought it down to camp down south this spring, but I probably ought to take that skirt off of it, the one he signed, and just put another one on it. I use it for ice fishing and stuff, but I don't know. I'll just let it be on there. And yeah, it was pretty cool when he did this. So I'm going to say a few words about him here. I'm going to probably go outside and yeah, I was really missing him yesterday. He was a special character, that guy. There it is right there. That's what I was saying. It's getting a little weathered and stuff. That's why I was saying maybe I should just take it off and put another one on and keep that one. But maybe I'll show everybody my Hobo Shoestring stuff that he signed for me. I think I've done this before, but I always felt weird about asking him, like, hey, would you sign this for me? He was always like very gracious about it and was like, oh yeah, sure. This is one of my favorite things that he signed. This is my little guest bathrooms downstairs, my railroad themed bathroom. But he sent me this for Christmas one year, that tin. You know, he said that the Chief Santa Fe engine was always one of his favorites. And then he sent that to me for Christmas one year. And I think I actually have a video of me opening it. And when he came one time here, I was like, dude, you got to sign that for me. So he did. He was like, oh, I ran out of room putting the tracks on it. But I mean, that is a one of a kind gem. One of my favorite things that I have. And then here in the arcade, I think it was one of his birthdays, probably the year I met him. I sent him like a care package. I was talking to him before that, but I knew his birthday was coming up, and I sent him, like, I don't know, just like stuff he could use, like hand warmers and, you know, a bunch of little things. And I wasn't expecting anything, but like a week later, I got a thank you note, and then he had that in it. And that one is awesome. And I put it in a frame, and it's here in the arcade. It sits up above the door there. And then out here on my workbench, and I need to do something with this one. He sent me this one too. This was really, honestly, before I really knew him. And I sent him another kind of care package or something, and I got a thank you note, and then he sent me that, which that one's got a little patina on it from being out here in the garage. I'm going to bring it inside. I'm going to do that right now. I've been needing to do that for a while, but one of a kind. I think that's all the stuff I have signed from him, but oh, he gave me, yeah, I'll show you one more thing. All right, this is my closet. But this one, this just isn't any Hobo Shoestring shirt. This was his shirt. This is one of his actual shirts. And I can't remember why he gave it to me, but I think, I don't remember. I think we were just talking about his merchandise and stuff, and I said, yeah, I need to get one of your shirts. And he's like, well, I'll just give you one. And it was one he was wearing. We washed it, of course, but and I'm so bummed because I think it's an extra large and I'm like a double XL, which I'm working on being an XL. It's just a little too small for me, but I would wear it all the time. But yeah, that's not just any Hobo Shoestring shirt. That's one of the ones he actually wore, and that thing's probably been all over the place. I love it. I probably should just put it in a frame and hang it up somewhere. Yeah, I'm still watching his video, and that shirt, uh, apparently he was gonna sign it, and then we got to talking, and he never did. I had it laid out on the table and everything. It's right there next to the bucket. But I can't watch this and talk at the same time, or chew gum and walk at the same time. But no, this is distracting me. But yeah, hold on, let me pause this real quick. If I can, there we go. There we are. So yeah, I was thinking about like stories about him and stuff, and I think I've told all the best ones. if you haven't seen my videos, where like it was kind of after he, like shortly after he had passed away, I wrote down a bunch of thoughts about him and talked about him for, I don't know, I don't remember how long any of those videos were, but yeah, I just kind of the stories about him that popped into my mind. I, spoke about it. So those are probably my best ones. But maybe after, I mean, he's been gone over a year now, obviously. I wish I could have gone to his thing in Britt, Iowa. I wish I could have done that. But I'm pretty sure I was working that weekend, and it's probably not a weekend trip anyway. I would have had to have taken some time to do that, but it was nice that they did that for him. But after he's been gone for this long, like, what are my thoughts about it? I don't know. None of this is scripted. So, geesh. I definitely miss him. I mean, we texted 10 times a day at least, pretty much every day. And when I didn't hear from him for a day or two when he was riding or whatever, yeah, I'd always like, oh, I hope he's all right. And so that's when he kind of came up missing, I knew something was wrong. Like, I'm like, and I saw somebody posted something, and they're like saying that he was missing, and I texted him. I'm like, hey, people are looking for you. Are you okay? And then I never heard back from him. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's probably not good. And I think I kind of knew it wasn't going to be good when they found his, like, hat and all that stuff. But I don't want to talk about all that stuff. I'd rather talk about the fun stuff about him. Somebody had mentioned that they were kind of amazed with his health conditions that he could get around as well as he could, and I was too. Every time I was around him, I'm like, like he didn't let on to like how sick he really was, and the fact that he could get around like he was, still getting around. I was like, man, that's amazing, because I'm perfectly healthy, and I couldn't do what he was doing, and he was still getting it done. But you noticed towards the last month or two, or maybe even last year or two, of like his videos, he was like, yeah, he'd go out and he'd be out for like a week or two, and then it would wipe him out for like a month, where he was like just sleeping all the time. And yeah, it wasn't, it took a lot out of him. But the one thing that he did have is that he had done that for so long, is he had a system down, and he knew, I mean, you guys obviously know how smart he was. Like, he knew which train showed up where and what times. And like, one thing I found fascinating was how he packed his backpack up. he had everything, and he said it was a military thing, and I was never in the military, so I don't know, but he said everything always goes in the same spot. So like if and he was like half blind, but like even with your eyes closed, he could reach into this pocket, and he knew that whatever he was looking for was in there without even looking for it or being able to see it. Like he had everything, and he always packed his stuff the same way. And he made a video one time. It was one of the first videos I watched of his, where he like laid all of his stuff out and then showed you how he packed it. But he did it the same way every single time, and I always thought that was really cool. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some other interesting things I haven't said before about him. I know he loved Alaska. He talked about his boy, and I know that bothered him. And he talked about his dad quite a bit, and I know that bothered him. He loved his mom. I know that. I remember, and I've told this story before, but it was, I think, the first time I brought him back here. His mom called him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going back to my friend Matt's place," because we'd been talking for like a year or two before I ever met him, and his mom was concerned, and he's like, "No, Matt's cool, like we're friends," but he was a mama's boy for sure, which I thought that was really sweet. And his mom, I still communicate with her once in a while. She seems like a very nice lady. But yeah, she and Shoestring was tight. And I think he told me one time, like when he started making a little bit of YouTube money, like he bought his mom a TV, and he thought that was like the greatest thing, that he could like help out with stuff. And I don't know that his mom needs help, but he felt very proud and stuff that he could help his mom out like once in a while, or just like buy her stuff and do nice things for her, which I thought that was awesome. But geez, what are some other stories? I hope I'm not speaking, like, I don't like to talk about like his personal stuff, like that's his stuff. And I think he talked about his mom a little bit and stuff. I'm not revealing too much behind the curtain with any of that. But what are some other? This was I wish I could. I don't like to bad talk people, but there was a place that we went to one time when he was here. I'm like thinking of different places I could bring him that were railroad related, and there was a model train place that I was kind of fascinated with, and it wasn't too far from here, a little over an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and I'm like, let's drive up there and check it out. And we got up there, and the owner somehow knew who he was and thought that we were there to make a video, or he was there, like Shoestring was there to make a video. And this dude was a giant asshole to us. Excuse my French, but he was so, like, he's like, that guy's got 200,000 followers, and he's not here to make money off of this. And and Shoestring just kind of like clammed up like a clam. And I was like, I tried to like talk to this dude and stuff, and I'm like, but anyways, we ended up walking around the place, and it was very cool. And I think the dude thought we were trying to make that Shoestring was trying to like make money off of it or something, or I don't know. But little did the dude know that Shoestring could have brought like all sorts of attention to this place, whether he made money off of it or not. You you're bringing 200,000 eyeballs to your place, and gosh, you would think the dude would have been like laid out the red carpet for him, but no, this guy was a giant prick. And it was, so we ended up leaving there, and we were both just like, I can't believe that experience. And I'm like, I am so sorry for bringing you up here. And I said, I told him, I'm like, if I would have known it was going to be like this, I wouldn't even have thought about doing that. And he's like, yeah, it's just, and he was all like busted up about it, and I was too. And I mean, obviously I'm still talking about it today, and I wish I could say what that place was, but I wouldn't do that to somebody. But it was not a good experience, unfortunately. But it was the place was actually really cool. I enjoyed it, and he did too. He liked it, but the owner was, I don't know what his hang up was with all of it. But I need to think of some more positive stuff here. Like, I'm only talking about like negative stuff, and that seems to be what a lot of this is. But, I loved when I brought him out to Wellington, and just by random luck, there was a eastbound Wheeling and Lake Erie train that came through there. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, he was all up on the diamond, like taking pictures and stuff. And I'm like, like, but every time I go there, like a couple months ago, when the 765 came through, I always think of like, I look at the diamonds and I'm like, well, Shoestring has been right here by the diamonds. And I always regretted not having him put his tag on that control box there in Wellington. But I feel a little better about him not doing that, because last time I was there with the 765, if you saw my longer video, the CSX guys were like craning it out of there, and I'm assuming, I haven't been back there since, I'm assuming that's probably gone. They had lifted it, they were lifting it, and then they put it down at the bottom of the big grade there, and it was an old Conrail one, I think. It was like brown or rust colored, and I always thought, man, I was like, every time I go there, I'm like, man, I wish I would have had him sign that thing, because I would have loved seeing it. And he did, the one time he came here, I think I have it on video, he signed the here in Medina, where the B&O crosses over the Wheeling and Lake Erie, the main part of it. He signed on one of the big stones out there, but the weather and stuff, it's pretty much gone. If you really tried to see it, you could see it there. And then he also signed the on South Medina Street, I think it is. He signed the box for the gate, and they had, the city of Medina had come in within maybe a month or two, and they had like sandblasted it off of there. But you can still kind of see where it was. Maybe when I'm out walking tomorrow, I'll see if you can still see it. I haven't looked for it in a while, but I always liked, it was the one he signed on that block was probably there for about 2 years before the weather washed it away. What else? This was funny. It was the time where we were walking. It was, I think, maybe the first time he was here. We were walking along the Wheeling and Lake Erie right through town there, where there's, you can walk it and not be trespassing and stuff. And we were going right over the crossing on West Liberty Street. And I've told this story before, I'm pretty sure of it. But there was a van that went by, and all of a sudden, like, the brake lights kick on, and then it was like, it reversed up, and the window went down, and the dude was like, "Shoestring!" And some fan, I guess, and he got out, and I'm just standing over there, and the dude started talking with him and everything, and they talked for maybe like 5 minutes or something. The dude got back in and he took off. And I'm like, how often does that happen to you? I just thought it was kind of funny, like you're in random Medina, Ohio, and somebody recognizes you. I thought that was pretty cool. And he's like, I can't remember what he said. He said like once or twice a week he gets somebody that stops him. And I go, what do you think about that? And he's like, he said he thought he was okay with it. He liked it. But then sometimes he was like, yeah, I just want to like go to the grocery store or whatever. But yeah, geez, today, this is a random thing. I was getting gas over, I did my walk this morning, and I was getting gas over on the other side of town, kind of over where the Wheeling and Lake Erie is. And dude pulls up and he's like, are you Matt Mantel? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I think he said, is it Nemo Trains or Nemo Trains or Nemo Train? But he's a rail fan here in Medina, and if you're watching, cheers, brother. It was cool meeting you. And but yeah, it always takes me aback a little bit when I'm ringing the bell for the Salvation Army or something. I've had a few people like recognize me, which I'm always like, yeah, it's just weird, but it's, I mean, cool, but yeah, the dude today was real super cool. I had one of the Medina cops. I was over at the same gas station getting gas, and a cop car pulled up right behind me. I'm like, oh no, what is this? And the guy gets out and he's like, hey, I watch all your videos. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I thought I was in trouble. And yeah, we talked for like 5 minutes. He said he grew up in Medina, and I wish I remembered he told me his name, and I wish I could remember it. I'd probably recognize him. But yeah, he said he watches my videos and that he was a rail fan and grew up in Medina. And I'm like, well, I try to be respectful of the railroad and not get on their property. And he's like, whatever. But I was trying to be cool with him, and he seemed like a super super good dude. But that was funny. Yeah, I don't know. It's like. Oh, one of the other things that Shoestring loved it, and I wish he was still around and to bring him to it, is the they call it the Northeast Ohio Live Steamers over in Leicester. It's one of those like 7.5-inch gauge railroads that you can ride on, and we went over there one afternoon when he was here, and they weren't out there or anything, but we walked around a little bit, and he's like, oh, he thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I met one of those dudes, I think 2 years ago maybe, when I was ringing the bell for the Salvation Army. He had like the Northeast Ohio Live Steamers hat or shirt or something on, and I said something to him about it. And we started talking, and he's like, yeah, you should join. And I'm like, yeah, I would probably never get anything else done in my life if I did. But it is a very cool place. If you don't know what it is, look it up. Northeast Ohio Live Steamers. But yeah, I think that's about it for tonight. I just wanted to, I know a lot of people loved my video of last night, and I enjoyed making that. And it was funny because it was the day before his birthday, and that video of it was like the Hobo Shoestring tribute video. It like popped up on my feed just random, and I'm like, I usually don't watch those, especially if they're not from him. Like, all the people speculating about him and talking about him that didn't know him and stuff. And I looked, and it had like 100,000 views, and I'm like, I want to see what this one's all about. So I hit play on it, and they put it to the Mel McDaniel song and then the Hobo song after it. And I was like, oh my God, that's great. And they cut, whoever did that, if you're watching, awesome job, man. They cut up like all the best, like him just smiling and laughing and being him and eating the cookie. And, and yeah, it was just very cool to watch. And so, yeah, last night I was like, I gotta watch that again. And then oh, yeah.
YouTube gave me a copyright strike for that, but I don't care about that. But I was just like, yeah, I was like, what copyright strike? I guess because it probably has the song on it, and maybe it, maybe showing part of that other dude's video. I don't know how any of that stuff works, and honestly, I don't even care. But I'm glad I could make it for everybody, and everybody enjoyed it. So, all right, well, I think that's going to be it for tonight. I hope everyone enjoys this video. I really appreciate you guys all watching my stuff. And I've said this before in a couple of my videos, but like most of my train videos, I'm just out walking and the train goes by and I'm like, like I'm not actively seeking trains out most of the time. I know there's a lot of like real hardcore rail fans around here that do that. But yeah, my stuff is just like happen chance stuff, which I enjoy. I love seeing it. If it's on the rails or in the sky or a car, like I'm all about it. Cars, planes, trains, and automobiles. Which, if you haven't seen that video of mine from last fall, I was up in Madison, Ohio, where they filmed one of the scenes from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's the scene where they get into the taxi cab, Doobie's Taxi, and they show a 2 or 3 second clip going down the street in Madison. And I was there right after that big snow that they had gotten in, I think it was either in November or maybe early December. But it was pretty cool. If you just search my channel for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, I think I cut the 2 or 3 minute clip out of that. That's one of my favorite movies. But anyways, I am rambling, but thanks for watching, everybody.